Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Landon here to provide a weather update. And the intro graphic that we got up is kind of just we'll call it a joke because we're not going to be talking about snow. Anybody that watches this is probably going to be thinking to themselves or to yourselves that I am talking about snow. So, what we're going to talk about today, unfortunately, is severe weather. So, what does an enhanced risk for severe weather mean? So, the Storm Prediction Center, actually, let me back up once. The Storm Prediction Center has issued an enhanced risk for severe weather for the area in orange, which you can see pretty much covers a good 200-mile radius of western South Dakota, pretty much stretching from Chamberlain all the way into the Black Hills. Does include Spearfish, Lee Deadwood, Sturgis, Rapid City, Hill City, Keystone, Rockerville, Custer, Hot Springs, and Edgemont. So what does an enhanced risk mean? Scattered to numerous severe thunderstorms are expected. High confidence that several severe thunderstorms will contain the following: damaging straight line winds, severe hail 2.5 inches or greater, and tornadoes. Several storms could be significant. So, for this afternoon and evening, and we're going to be talking, when I say this afternoon, we're talking, we'll get into this here in a little bit, but we're talking on a timeline today in between 2 p.m. this afternoon and 8 p.m. this evening. Some thunderstorms will still continue until midnight, but confidence in thunderstorm, the chance for thunderstorms is high today. There's a slight chance of tornadoes. Hail, we'll get more into depth in the hail here in a little bit. Hail today, we're going to go baseball size hail or greater. Winds are going to, damaging straight line winds are going to be in that 75 to 80 per miles per hour. And then we are going to have a chance of flooding because these thunderstorms, these last several days, have just been slow moving thunderstorms producing as much as 4 to 5 inches of rain. So the breakdown, the severe weather threats here for Hill City, Custer, and Hot Springs as of 7 a.m. this morning. So for Hill City, there's a enhanced risk for severe weather. There's a marginal risk for tornadoes. There's an enhanced risk for damaging straight line winds and large damaging hail, and a slight risk for flooding. That's kind of the similar theme across the board for Custer and Hot Springs as well. The only difference, and I don't have this graphic designed for 4 towns, but I got to throw Edgemont in there because that's kind of where the bullseye area will be for tornadic activity today, is down toward Edgemont in southwestern South Dakota this afternoon. So, talk about the timing. Basically, in between 2 and 8 p.m. this afternoon and evening. Thunderstorm watch. To talk about the difference between a watch and a warning. A severe thunderstorm watch is issued when severe thunderstorms are possible. Warning is when severe thunderstorm is happening or about to happen. I don't think I really, based off of the information I've been reading last night and early this morning, I do not anticipate this severe thunderstorm watch to be issued. I think the Storm Prediction Center is likely, in my opinion, is likely to kick out a tornado watch this afternoon for the Black Hills. I would be very surprised. Actually, they have. Ooh, this is interesting. Ooh, wow. All right, so I'm on the Storm Prediction Center website. We'll get over into this here in a bit because I'm going to have to go back to this. They actually have, since early this morning, the Storm Prediction Center actually has increased the tornado threat for the Black Hills, folks. So let's go back over to radar here, and we'll kind of show you what I'm talking about here. I see we do have one severe thunderstorm warning in effect currently for Cherry County, Nebraska right now as well. So when I loaded that graphic, you can see this dark line did actually move west. So you folks in Hot Springs, Edgemont, Custer, Hill City, you're right on the edge of this tornado threat. So pay attention to this. All right, so talking about hail, that hasn't changed, but basically inside that pink line, that's going to be what we'll call your highest area for destructive hail today. Is inside that pink area. So, let's zoom this in. So, pretty much anything east of Highway 70 or west of Highway 79 to the Wyoming borders needs to be on the lookout for large destructive hail as well this afternoon. All right, so to talk about tornado terminology, I won't be able to emphasize this enough this afternoon. Tornado watch. Weather conditions could lead to the formation of severe storms and tornadoes. Be prepared, know your safe location, be ready to act quickly if a warning is issued or you suspect a tornado is approaching. A warning means, so a watch means that conditions are right, that the conditions are favorable for tornadoes to form. A warning means a tornado has been spotted or indicated by Doppler radar, meaning a tornado is occurring or expected to occur soon. Take action. There is immediate danger to life and property. Immediately seek refuge in the safest location possible. Tornado emergency is exceedingly rare situation with a severe threat to human life and catastrophic damage due to a confirmed violent tornado. So with the Storm Prediction Center actually increasing the tornado threat potential and moving that further to the east, that kind of confirms my working theory that a tornado watch will be issued later today. All right, tornado safety tips. Know the signs. Look for swirling clouds. Watch for quick wind shifts or start calm after heavy rain. Listen for a loud roar or rumble that doesn't fade. Practice and prepare. Know whether you'll meet your family during the tornado and after. Practice a tornado drill annually. Keep weather radio in your storm shelter along with safety supplies. Seek shelter. Go to your basement, a small interior room, or understairs on the lowest level of the house. If you live in a mobile home, get out and look for a stable building. If outside, find low ground away from trees and cars. Lay face down with your arms protecting your head. After the storm, stay away from down power lines. Avoid flooded areas. Power lines could be submerged and still live with electricity. Do not enter seriously damaged buildings and avoid using matches and lighters in case of gas leaks. And the other thing I want to emphasize here this morning with this is the fact that today's severe weather threat here in western South Dakota and in the Black Hills is probably the best chance we've seen all year for severe weather. All right, so I have to talk about hail because to kind of talk about the hail size chart because there is a chance for large hail today. And when I say large hail, we're talking 2 3/4 inch hail. So we're going to talk baseball size hail. When you start talking that being driven by a tornado or 75, 80 mile an hour straight line winds, folks, that could potentially do a lot of destructive damage. So a baseball, again, is 2.75 inches. Now, a photo I found on the internet, and this is interesting here. So this is actually talking about the hail updraft speed. So we're talking about the speed the hailstone is coming out of the cloud. And you can see, since we're talking in up to baseball size hail today, we're talking hailstones falling right around 80, right around 80 miles an hour. So that's pretty, that's large hail coming down at a fast rate of speed. I mean, I know a couple weeks ago here in Custer, we had golf ball size hail for about 20 minutes, and that comes down right around 65 miles an hour. No wonder there was damage reported from that because of the time length and the speed that falls. All right, so just to give you viewers at home, estimating hail size with visual cues. So hail diameter size, 1/4 to 3/8 inch is your typical pea-size hail. 1/2 inch hail is small marble. 3/4 inch hail is penny. 7/8 inch is nickel. Now, when we start talking quarter, which is 1 inch hail, quarter size hail is your threshold for severe thunderstorm warnings to be issued. But that's not the only criteria for a severe thunderstorm warning to be issued. But that is one of the criteria. The other has to be the winds, which has to be 60 miles an hour or greater. So, to continue, 1.25 inches is $half size hail, 1.5 inches walnut to ping pong ball, 1.75 inches is golf ball, 2 inches lime, 2.5 is tennis ball, Baseball's at 2 3/4, 3 inches. We're getting into the large apple. 4 will be softball. 4.5 is grapefruit. And then 4 3/4 to 5 inches is basically the equivalent of a CD DVD. So currently out there on radar, not much really going on. We do got this one severe thunderstorm warning in western Cherry County, Nebraska currently. Northwestern Cherry County until 9:30 a.m. Central Daylight Time. At 8:25 a.m. Central Daylight Time, severe thunderstorm was located 16 miles southeast of Gordon, moving east of 40. 60-mile-an-hour winds and nickel-sized hail possible there. The worst of that storm will stay to the south of Valentine once it gets over there. It's pretty much due south of Merriman this morning. You can kind of tell by looking at the lightning strikes here that this started over into Dawes and Box Butte County. Currently, conditions here in Custer, we got mist, fog, 53 degrees, dew point 51, relative humidity 92%. That's a pretty humid day in the Black Hills. Rapid City, similar temperature 58 degrees, dew point 57, relative humidity 96. So there's going to be a lot of humidity in the air to drive these storms. Now, a couple years ago when Custer had a tornado in April, actually 2 tornadoes in April, it was only around this temperature. So it's going to be interesting to see today how similar this setup is to that day. I mean, so I'm going to be real curious to see how much the temperature warms up today. I don't anticipate it warming up a bunch today. Let's just see what the National Weather Service is saying here. There's also some thunderstorms over into central, north central South Dakota, up into Campbell, Corson, Dewey, Walworth, Potter, pretty much areas north of I-90, north of here. I do not take this weather threat lightly, I should say. The conditions are right. The conditions are favorable for tornadoes to form today. So, again, this brown line off to the left part of the screen here, that is your best risk area for tornadoes. So, again, we will be talking Edgemont, Hot Springs, Custer. That's the bullseye area today, is the southern Black Hills. So basically what the thought process is here today from the National Weather Service office, Basically, they're thinking thunderstorms in between 2 and 8 p.m. this afternoon and evening, with still thunderstorms lingering into the late evening hours to around midnight. So today for Custer, we're talking a high temperature of 67. So we're not really going to get a lot of the convectional daytime heating. But it's interesting because, like I said, when Custer had those 2 tornadoes 2 years ago, the setup was exactly like this. You had the cool air sitting over the hills. Temps were in the sitting over the Black Hills, and basically the warming was to the south. That warm air came up out of the south, and that one thunderstorm ended up hitting Custer, ended up coming up from Edgemont. It took a northerly, that northwest, that backside of the storm took pretty much a direct northerly track up from Edgemont and nailed Custer. So, I mean, like I said, I'm noticing a lot of similarities to that exact day. So, daytime high for Custer, we're talking patchy fog, then severe thunderstorms. High of 67, fog before 9 a.m., then otherwise mostly cloudy, high of 67. This information here as of 2 o'clock this morning is a little, as of 2:42 this morning, is a little outdated here, I'm seeing, as the tornado threat has been moved further to the west. Let's see if I can do this. All right, give me a second here and I will add in another graphic. Actually, I'll just add this in. So this was the update from the National Weather Service office as of 2:42 this morning, and the hazards here is pretty much everything. Damaging straight line winds, large hail, lightning, flooding, tornadoes. Main period for severe weather will be between 2 and 8 p.m. All right, so that's an indicator right there. So you're talking about a 10-hour period. Normally when the Storm Prediction Center issues severe thunderstorm watches, normally those aren't as a long a period as what a tornado watch is. So that's kind of my telltale sign, right? One of my telltale signs. Initial storms over northeastern Wyoming and southwestern South Dakota this afternoon have a higher potential for tornadoes and very large hail. The wind threat will increase this evening as storms move across western South Dakota. So, like any other time, basically what's going to happen is these initial supercells will have the capability of producing tornadoes, and then eventually this is going to develop into one of those, a line of strong to severe thunderstorms And then that's where your straight line wind threat will come from as the storms move east this evening. So that's what's going to happen is you'll have a few supercell thunderstorms. They'll produce large hail and possibly tornadoes, and then they'll form a destructive straight line wind and then just move eastward. All right, so again, this is as of 2:40 this morning. So, like I said, this is already outdated information already. So, don't really take this data very seriously. I mean, you still got to take it seriously, but you can kind of see the bullseye area is pretty much in red here. I mean, that's your moderate risk area. So, straight line winds. Again, in as far as the tornado threat's going to be in between 2 p.m. this afternoon through 8 p.m. this evening. Again, like I said, this has actually been modified. So you see this brown area right here on your screen to the west of the Black Hills. Okay, keep in mind, that was as of 2:40 this morning. Okay, so now what I want to do is go back and show you this is the current. Keyword is current tornado threat area. As you can see, that brown area has been expanded eastward to include Hot Springs and Custer. So for the moment, that's what we have from the National Weather Service right now. I do want to show this one graphic here if I can, because this is going to see if I can zoom my screen in to show this. So if for folks that are watching that may be curious as to why do we got a risk for severe weather in western South Dakota, southwestern South Dakota today, well, you got this ridge of high pressure sitting down around the Denver area, just off to the southwest of Denver, and then you got this low pressure system sitting right along the South Dakota-Nebraska border, probably somewhere close to the Chadron area. So this really gives you a really good indication of what's going to happen later. I mean, a high pressure has that warm, dry air, or the warm, moist air, excuse me, and the lows always are affiliated with that cool, dry air. And normally when the two clash, I mean, so these two pressure systems are only a couple 100 miles apart from each other. So, I mean, you can see we got the severe thunderstorms possible. We got heavy rain, flash flooding possible. So just make sure, folks, you got a way to get warnings this afternoon. TV, social media, NOAA weather radio. So for now, we're just getting in the ballpark of waiting to see what changes here at the 10 o'clock hour, so we'll provide another update late this morning with any new information. Otherwise, we'll be back this afternoon with more weather coverage. And also, severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for Cherry County in Nebraska. So stay tuned for further weather updates.